So, Jacob, why do you ski?
Why do I ski? The answer is simple. Powder. It's all about the powder. Dropping threes, skiing trees, steep and deep. That's what it's all about for me.
What are your optimal skiing conditions?
Well, last year I got out I think 110 days. I got 110 days in last year, and so you got a lot of mixed conditions. I'd say optimal conditions. Anybody who skis big terrain like me would say powder. That's what it's all about. Is
Yeah.
when you see that snow report on onthesnow.com, you see that they got 3 feet at Breckenridge. That's where you're going. That's what it's all about right there.
So, have you been working on anything lately?
Working on anything lately? Well, I've been really trying to incorporate some tricks into my backcountry skiing. Trying to work on the double back, the corkscrew, trying to throw some 360s in there off those powder turns.
And how do you define a successful skiing day?
A successful ski any day, any ski day, it's a successful ski day. Obviously, I mean steep and deep, skiing trees, dropping threes. It's all successful.
Yeah. Do you have
All
any
successful
vivid
to me.
memories?
Any vivid memories?
Yeah, your most memorable skiing moments or days?
My most memorable. Oh, well, one day I was skiing. In Utah, and Utah has the freshest powder. I was skiing in Utah, and off the 999 chair, and it was just super steep and deep, lots of powder all day. I was making the sickest turns. We skied one run all day in the powder, and it was a great moment. I was with my friends. I love skiing with my friends. It's all about community out there. You got to stay together, represent.
Cool. Thank you for your time.
Yeah, no problem.
All right, see you later. So, we have Maddie Burnham here today, ski racer. Why do you ski, Maddie?
It's a lot of fun. It's a great adrenaline rush. It gets me away from everything else. Just me in the mountain, and it's awesome when you get your feet out there and make a nice carve, and just you on the slopes.
And what are your optimal conditions for a ski day?
20 degrees, sunny, a nice hard packed snow, but grippable, so you can get a good edge in there.
What have you been working on lately? Anything in particular?
Well, I just got back from the Junior Olympics, and that was really intense. And Super G is my event, so I'm just training for that.
And have you made a lot of friends along the way, the whole skiing community?
Yeah, definitely.
Racing?
I have a lot of connections from high school to boarding school for skiing out east, and then they meet a lot of my West Coast friends, so it's cool how it's been a small world. Everyone connects.
Do you have any memorable skiing moments or accomplishments in the past?
Probably the best moment was my friend and I were 11, and he was just taking me back country, and we didn't really know where we were going. We were at Spokane, and we just go cut a few ropes and end up on the road half an hour down the mountain, and neither of us had cell service, so we had to hitchhike back to the main lodge, and our parents waiting for us for 3 hours.
Well, thank you for joining us today. It was a pleasure to talk to you.
Thank you.
Hi. This is Jess Gurrens. She skis park. And why do you like to ski, Jess?
I've grown up doing it, and it's been a part of my life since I was about 1.5 years old. And since I grew up skiing on the East Coast, and, my family grew up skiing my dad grew up skiing on the West Coast. He's brought me out here all the time. But I kind of got bored of the whole just, going down the mountain, straight lining down, going down moguls. I want to try something different and really, get out of just the normal skiing stigma of just you put on your skis, you go down the mountain, and that's it. I want more. I want some kind of energy. I need a bigger adrenaline rush. And so I got more into park because it's something that not everyone can say they can do. Everyone can slide down the mountain. Not everybody can go off a jump and do a McConkey twist. That's something I pride myself on. Shane McConkey is one of my idols.
Okay, what are your optimal conditions for a ski day or a park day?
Well, I love my powder days, but, I'd rather have a bright sunny day, no flat light's just the shittiest thing you can ever get. And because I can't see where I'm going, and I have the right goggles, so I have the right gear for it, but I can't do it. So I'd rather have I want a sunny day, I want a warm day, because I'm going to be doing a lot of things. I'm going to be hiking up the park the entire time, because, most of the time there's there's they got the magic carpet there, but like, I need to feel like I've accomplished something if I can hike up the run and I can hike up there and I can keep doing over and over and over again until I get it right now.
Cool. Have you been working on anything in particular lately?
I've really been working on getting my half pipe tricks down, and the hardest thing that I struggled with in the beginning was being able to get up over the wall high enough so that I can do something and land it, backwards, forwards, doesn't matter. But something I really struggle with is being able to get enough speed, because on days that I ski in Colorado, like an issue that I come across with in Colorado is that it snows a lot. And so I can't always get like the good conditions for a pipe because it's going to be too slow if there's too much powder on there. And so I want it to be icy. I want to be able to fly off the top of that wall, get like 15-20 feet up the wall and just be able to do flips, be able to do twists, be able to do like 360s and just be able to land them and not have to worry about slowing down, not be able to get up off the other side.
So what's your most memorable skiing moment or day?
My most memorable skiing day was I was in Aspen with my family, and I was getting on the trail going up Buttermilk, and I was sitting next to this guy, and he was on the phone, and like he sounded really familiar, and he got off the phone. It was just me and him, and he looks at me and goes, "Oh, sorry, how are you doing today?" I was like, "I'm good." He takes off his hat. Out falls like this huge mess of like red curly hair, and I was sitting next to Sean White on the trailer, and I was just like, and he was like, "Oh, how you doing? Like, do you ski? Do you board?" I was like, "Yeah, I get bored sometimes, but I ski." And he's like, "Do you do park?" And I was like, "Yeah." He's like, "Well, do you want to do a run with me?" And I was like, "Yeah," because like, I guess he was practicing because I was out there for a winter break, and like, so I went back there and like we went and like shredded together. We were doing rails. It was awesome.
Well, it was nice talking to you today.
Yeah,
Thank you for coming in.
Sure.
So we have Sam Kramer here today. He's a telemark skier. And why do you teleski?
A teleski is it just adds a different kind of flair to normal skiing, and in certain snow conditions, especially softer snow, it's as fun as skiing and even more fun a lot of the time. And I mean, it's a greater workout, which leaves a different feeling at the end of the day. But it's also nice just having lighter gear. The bindings weigh nothing. Boots are a lot easier to walk in, easier to tour with.
And what are your optimal conditions for a ski day?
Powder. Just dumping snow all day probably. Not even bluebird powder, just storming.
What have you been working on lately? Anything in particular?
Skiing-wise? Just getting more comfortable on teleskis.
Yeah.
In softer snow especially. Because initially it feels a lot less stable, I think, than normal downhill skiing.
Yeah. And do you enjoy telemark skiing? Who do you like to ski with?
It doesn't really matter, no preference. I mean, it's not, I would say teleskiing is obviously a lot more similar to normal skiing than say snowboarding, so skiing with a teleskier is easier than skiing with a snowboarder. Vice versa.
And how do you define a successful teleskiing day? Powder?
Just lots of runs in without letting your legs kill you, I think.
Yeah. And what is your most memorable skiing moment or day? Do you have any stories to share with us?
Specific day? Probably last year, because it was such a poor season, but one day at Alta with Sam right here, it snowed a lot, like 2 or 3 feet probably in a day and a half, and it was just face shots all day. It was so good. There was no one there, road closed.
Well, thanks for joining us today. It was a pleasure talking to you. So we have Kyle Coleman here, cross-country skier.
Yep.
It's a pleasure to have you here. Why do you cross-country ski, Kyle?
That feeling of just gliding around, being weightless while still attached to the earth. I love that.
Cool. And what are your optimal skiing conditions for a ski day?
Ideal, lots and lots of fresh snow, beautiful sun shining, glorious weather. I bundle up, so it's, most days I can handle. I go out all weather, but, obviously I try to stay in when it's, raining or ice rain or, monster rain, but,
And have you been working on anything in particular lately?
Well, I've been working on a lot of my dry land training, but just, boost up the leg muscles. They get, tired and sore pretty quick if you don't want to, exercise them, especially before the snow comes down, because once the POW hits, you want to be, optimal condition, especially, when you get some, bulletproof terrain where you can't lock your edges in. It's all about skiing, baby, so.
And do you usually go with other people or by yourself?
I mean, I try to raw dog it when I can, but sometimes, I used to ski instruct, so I would like take little kiddies out and be like, "Yo, like, keep your hands up, dummy." And they'd be like, "I need to pee," and I'd be like, "Well, I can't do anything about that." So usually, I had a lot of kids that peed their pants.
And how do you just find a successful cross-country skiing day?
Oof. See, a successful perfect day is when you got your bros chilling with some brews. You're just like hooks to it with the broski, and everyone's feeling good. It's all so pathetic. The sun's shining, snow's falling. Sometimes at the same time, sometimes different times of the day. It's nice when you have both. Nice when the climate varies. So you're out there, you're chilling, you're skiing around, exploring new terrain, seeing what there is to see. Doing the do. Got your buddies, hanging out, skiing. Word.
And what is your most memorable skiing moment or day?
Ooh. Well, this ain't about cross-country skiing, is that okay? Can I mention that?
No, it has to be about cross-country skiing.
Okay, so my pappy and I, my grandpappy, were cross-country skiing, super flat terrain. We're like, why are we even here? I think it must have been a golf course, but it was under a lot of snow. So this was the snowstorm of '93, which on the East Coast was a huge deal. You had at least 3 feet of snow under us at the time. And Grandpappy was old. He's old still, but he was older then. And we were going, right? This is like truly like what defines me as a person. Wow. I always remember what he said. He said, "Kyle, don't you dare touch that fucking knife. That's my knife." Wow, I fucking love him, Grandpappy. Anyway, he was teaching me how to cross-country ski. He was the one who taught me, but no one else in my family is that into it. Everyone else is alpinists, big mountain. My brother dabbles in park. My sister's a goddamn snowboarder. Anyway, Grandpappy was teaching me how to cross-country, cross-terrain, cross-world. And I was in between his legs, and he was teaching me how to do the motion. And then suddenly there's a little bit more pitch to the hill, and we didn't think there would be that much pitch to the hill. And Grandpappy's legs, I was talking before, he would get tired and sleepy easily, and he was old then. And he couldn't keep skiing. So he let me go, and I fell off a cliff.
I'm sorry.
Big mountain, because he threw me off a cliff. And it was like...
All right, thank you, Kyle, for coming in today.